What up, world? Peace, kings and queens. Hey, I'm doing this video today. It's coming into Black History Month, the things that are going on into the world. The Great Awakening is happening. I'm seeing more than ever people need it. I wanted to speak today on the Metu Neter and nature versus religion. I want to talk about the programming of the world, especially us as Black people, and some things you should be on the lookout for. We're in the middle of a pestilence, actually. This whole pandemic thing is very serious, but again, it's planned. And it's certain things that they're doing that I can clearly see and pay attention to that is just not common sense. But we're so programmed as a people, we volunteer ourselves to be inoculated. In reference to the Metu Neter, it's nature. Our ancestors always looked at nature in reference to the way of life, the energies that they carry, the symbolisms that they represent. So, like, for instance, I call my family the pride. It's not because I'm walking in pride and ego and I'm thinking I'm the king of the jungle. But if you notice how a pride, they're a family, they're a unit, they work together. There's divine order. And that balances your kingdom. So with our ancestors, the Metu Neter was basically our spirituality, our connection to the universe. And we've gotten so far from that, and it's time for us to return. In this pandemic, they are actually targeting our minds, bodies, and spirits. And if you notice, when you go get a temperature check, they're pointing a beam, a gun-like object that emits a X-ray beam in the middle of your head. Why is that? Why are you checking the temperature in someone's head? Ask yourself these questions. It's because they're targeting your pineal gland. So when I speak on things like the third eye and the pineal gland, super religious people get bent up in arms like, oh, that's, I don't know, something outside of God, when that's the essence of God. That's what our ancestors taught us, and that's how they knew the universe and the world to be. And they left this knowledge and wisdom for us. But we're so distracted by this Western world and so programmed that, again, we volunteer ourselves to be inoculated. And I see parents just volunteering their children for certain things. I see a lot of parents wanting to send their children back to school in the middle of a pandemic because they just don't want to, deal with it or don't want the responsibility. But it's time for us to start governing our own. It's time for us to start having our own schools. And not just their schools of thought that we had back in our ancient times and civilizations, back in Lemuria and Kemet and Atlantis and all of these things that I think you guys should tap into. Sirius, we traverse stars, and we're so, small-minded in this day and age. So I would advise you guys to open your mind. Open your mind's eye and start to research these things. I would definitely tap into the Metu Neter for real. It's time for us to start tapping back into our ancient ancestry. And because of this, Age of Aquarius, this great shift, there is a transfer of power. But if you're not in position, you won't benefit from it. Even with the pandemic and reference to coming up with this grand scheme to make us stay inside, it's only because they know with the Age of Aquarius and the cosmic energy that is being poured onto the planet, it's really affecting us more than anything. The sun, the sun rays, the information from the sun rays, the strength that we get when we're in the sun, we're charged up because we're sun people. And I just want us as a people to think about these things and get back to that instead of being distracted by all of these nonsense challenges. The Busset Challenge, it's, you know, degrading queens when you should be raising your vibration and elevating yourself to a royal status and tapping into your goddess energy. Everyone just wants attention, and they lower their standard and their worth by doing so. Not to say you women out there are not beautiful, but I would charge you to raise your standards. You know, you're more than a busted baby. You're a queen, you're a goddess. And the energy that's being poured onto the planet is here to help you step into your higher self. And for the men, the kings out there, rise up. You know, a lot of you want mothers instead of being handling your God-given responsibility and taking care of women and children, and having the self-control and discipline to do just that, and not it be about you receiving or taking from, but just giving, you know. So this is just me speaking my mind, flowing in spirit, what I receive, and hopefully it resonates with somebody out there, you know. But it's just the love for my people, the things that I'm receiving in spirit, the things that I see clearly with my spiritual eye, not just my two eyes. I'm not distracted by the world, and that's why we have to start separating ourselves, being in the world but not of it, and getting back to your roots and your origins and tapping into these spiritual things that we're supposed to tap into to raise our vibration to change the planet. So with that being said, I'm out. Much love, light, and positive energy to all. Peace.